An ethical issue that's important to me is the issue of racial injustice. I've recently been reading a book about racial justice and St. Ignatius's teachings on it, and I've just been really inspired about how racial injustice is a really big issue, especially now. We've been seeing more of it in light in recent media news, and yeah, it's an important issue.
An ethical issue that's really important to me is accessibility, especially within higher education. I think that people with disabilities have such a unique perspective and have so much to contribute to our society and the progression um, of it. I would like to hear more of a conversation on this campus about how we can make it more accessible to students with all types of disabilities, and how we can make people of all abilities and backgrounds feel more welcome here.
An ethical issue that I think is affecting our generation today is regarding technology and social media, and whether social media should be regulated or controlled by others, or if we should let it have free reign. Obviously, it's affecting a lot of people's emotional state and mental health in our generation. And I guess my point would be, is that ethical to let people who are in control of these companies like Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, control so much of somebody's life and perception? Or maybe should there be more reins on these platforms?
Hi, I'm Andrew Giannatasio, and one ethical issue that I think will be faced by our generation is the development of AI technologies that could potentially have some big impacts on civil liberties. Between police, military, and commercial applications, it seems like we're starting to work for machines versus machines working for us, and I think that's something that our generation needs to be very watchful of in the future.
Something that has shaped my view of ethics is the Catholic Church and the Catholic Church's teachings on morality and the Catechism itself. Coming to Sanderson College was a huge thing that shaped my view of ethics, because I got to talk to other people of like-minded faith and other priests here that teach on morality.
Being on like a community like this and being so entrenched in a loving and caring environment just shows me that any kind of issue can be solved if you have multiple people working together. So it shows me that it's a community effort to solve ethical issues, to solve problems that, it's all common issues that we face. So if we tackle them together, they'll get solved.
I think everybody should check out The Capabilities Theory by Martha Nussbaum. She basically outlines 10 basic human rights that every person should have, and once people have those capabilities, they're able to achieve a higher self, and they're able to achieve like self-transcendence. And it's been really helpful in developing global policy, and I'm very passionate about global health. That's what I want to get into post-grad. So I really believe that once everybody achieves like security and equal access to food and job opportunity and gender equality, then we can achieve a more equitable world. So Martha Nussbaum.
Yeah, so in my field, since I teach military history, I think ethics is awfully important. Certainly the ethical system that I've encountered the most when I've been talking about military affairs is just war theory. And we've encountered that a great deal in a number of my classes. Certainly, probably in World War II, more than anything else, which is one of the classes that I teach. We've talked a lot about the morality surrounding strategic bombing, and also the dropping of the atomic bombs at Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And so the issues are fairly complex, maybe a bit more complex than people realize, but just war theory does give you a certain handle on what's going on and allows you to reach ethical judgments about what was right and what was wrong.
There are a number of major moral theories that every student will learn about at the college. So there's utilitarianism, J.S. Mill's theory of ethics. There's Kantian ethics, also called deontology, virtue ethics, which dates back to Aristotle, and natural law theory. And Thomas Aquinas is a big figure with that theory. But there's another theory, which actually is my own personal theory, which is called ethical intuitionism. And it's less well known than the others, but actually is important, I think, and worth taking seriously. It was first formulated by W.D. Ross in this book, The Right and the Good. It's worth reading. And basically, this ethical intuitionism combines the insights, I think, of utilitarianism, but also Kantian deontology. The insight from Kantian deontology is that there are these duties we have. We have these duties to help others, to avoid harming others, to tell the truth, and so on. But Ross argues that sometimes these duties come into conflict. And when they come into conflict, one duty could trump another duty. So unlike Kant, who thought there were certain duties that you could never violate, Ross thought that duties could be trumped by other duties we have. So that's called ethical intuitionism, and it's a theory that's worth taking seriously, I think.